Fellas, welcome back to another episode. It's Co-Trainer and my name is Cole. In this video, I'm going to be talking about what the dilemma is. Invest or to start a business in Pokemon. And I'm going to get into this video on what I've decided I'm going to do. And you guys comment down below what you think you should do in Pokemon or what you're doing in Pokemon right now. Let's get into it. I have been battling with myself on what I should do with Pokemon, and I've been the collector, right? Where I just bought stuff and held on to it because I liked it, and I feel like the reason that I started to kind of fall out was just because I simply just ran out of funds to keep buying, if that makes sense, you know? So if all you're doing is buying in Pokemon and not reselling, it's very hard to stay in because all you're doing is buying, and you're eventually going to run out of funds to buy everything. And it's really hard whenever you put yourself into a price like budget and you don't have anything to spend. It's going to be very difficult for you to buy some of the cards that you might want that have all of a sudden started to go outside of your budget. And like all you're going to do the whole time is stretch the budget, stretch the budget. And so you have to be a reseller. You have to be able to sell off some of the collection to fund other parts of the collection, right? And that's what I'm doing right now. I'm selling off the personal collection because I want to get into Pokemon a different way, right? I think that if you're going to stay the course and stay in Pokemon, you do have to learn to be a reseller. Now that we've kind of gotten into the collection part, I wanted to get into what it'd be like to be an investor, right? So I also tried to do this, right? I also bought stuff because I was like, I think that this could go up in value, or this is going for a lot more on the secondary market, and try to flip something, right? And that's all fine and dandy, and it works for a little while as well. But eventually, you're not going to be just easily doubling your money by buying this and selling that, and you're going to fall the out of the hobby as well because those gains aren't always going to be there, right? Uh, like as you can see, I had the Shining Fates ETB, opened ETB behind me, and it's like I bought it, and it's like, it's not worth that much on the secondary market. I'm just gonna open it, and that's what I did, and so I ended up just opening everything I had and didn't really didn't really invest. So as you can see, I'm already a very bad investor, and you shouldn't listen to what I'm saying because the investing part is not necessarily my area that I've really delved too deep into, right? But I do enjoy the reselling part, and investing does have you reselling back into the market whenever things have gotten more expensive. And like I said, in the collection part, in the investing part, you are a reseller, so it does help recoup funds back into you know what you can then spend and the capital you have to buy more product. And so I think that more of the investor side keeps you in longer because you are selling, and so you are able to recoup funds from what you have bought previously and resell into the market and then buy other things. So investing would keep me into the hobby much longer, but uh, the problem that I have with it, right, is the speculation, and especially in the modern product, and how volatile it can be, and you could be holding on to this stuff for a couple years before it ever moved, and thus your capital is once again getting tied up, and that's going to make it very difficult to then try to invest in the new plays, the new product that's coming out, if you feel like it might be better. And that's kind of something that I've been uh, struggling with, thinking about on the investing side, because man, it would be easier, right, to spend our $1,200 on something sealed. And when I'm talking about investing, I'm talking about some sealed product. I'm not necessarily talking about cards, although they could go up in value as well, as I've had in my past videos. Some of the Tyranitar cards that I bought, they did go up in value, but they weren't necessarily an investment. They were more for the collecting side of it, and so I feel like the investing should go towards the more sealed product. In my opinion, it would probably go to the sealed product because there's just going to be less and less of it on the market as more and more of it gets opened and so forth. Which, if you are purchasing investments during reprints and things like that, obviously there can be more put onto the market, but what's out there is out there, and it's only going to be in somebody's closet or be opened. And so the chances of it being opened is going to hopefully raise the value of your product. And you want to invest in something that is depleting in its stock, or not stock, but what's a better word? Depleting in its number and inventory, or depleting in its number, right? That's the kind of thing that you would want to put money in, because that is going to put more pressure on the availability. That's probably the word I would use, the availability. And whenever demand is high and there's not enough product out there and there's not enough availability, that is what's going to drive prices up, right? So a graded card, for example, there are tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands, of that card potentially. And if it's a low pop, there's probably a reason, because it's not very valuable. And you can speculate on purchasing those cards, and you can hope that the population stays low, and you can speculate on it, and that it'll eventually be a popular card. But then once people start grading that card, it's just going to push the availability of the product up, and there's going to be more, and that should drive the prices back down. And with sealed product, you do have that ebb and flow in on a graph or whatever, the highs and the lows, but you don't have the availability ever pushing itself back up. And people are obviously putting more stuff out on the market as it becomes more expensive, but you don't have the potential of, like a graded card, more cards being graded. There isn't more sealed product being made. So that's one thing that you don't have to worry about. And if I was going to go the investing route, probably would be in sealed product. Now, I want to get into why I'm going to start a business, and why I would rather start a business, and the thought processes that I've been going through in trying to start this. Okay, so for one, if I have a business, I'm just trying to flip the product as soon as possible, as soon as I get it. And that can be frowned upon if I was purchasing product at retail and then trying to flip it back on the market, and that can be frowned on. Not going to say that I never did, because there were times whenever I would purchase stuff in college and it was like, oh dang, this is more expensive than it was before, and I'd put it back on the market. I remember the Pokemon Center ETBs, I believe, from Chilling Reign. I think I had some of those, and I ended up selling them back onto the market, and I made a little bit of money, but it wasn't sustainable, obviously. And any person who's ever tried to resell that way knows that it's not sustainable whenever you're buying stuff at retail. And so, not doing that, getting out of that, and trying to, and like you could say like scalper or whatever, but it was like handful of things that I was like, I can buy this and then resell it. And it just so happened to be, Pokemon. And I was like, I enjoy it. And I ended up opening some of it because I was like, well, shoot, if I tried to sell this, yeah, it's more expensive, but after shipping and all that, it's the same. It's what I bought it for, so why not enjoy it? And so that was the realization that I came to after trying to flip stuff. And I mean, it was never crazy. I still don't have any experiences with. Well, for one, I don't really see any product on the shelf at my local Walmart, but at the same time, it wasn't crazy. Like whenever I would try to purchase stuff, I do remember there being a line one time for a restock, but it was like everybody just took one. It was pretty calm, and then you checked out, and that was how it went. And so, I don't see a lot of the things that some other people might experience, and I'm sorry for those experiences. And let me know in the comments what your experiences have been if you accidentally hit a Walmart drop or Target drop or something of that nature. That was how it happened to me. I never was paying attention to uh, when and where the person was going to be delivering and restocking at my local Walmart at that time or anything like that. I never did anything like that. I just hit one on accident one time. And I'm trying to remember. I what was I believe I was able to buy a Hidden Fates ETB and a Shining Fates ETB. I believe I was able to purchase those at that Walmart drop, and I did resell the Hidden Fates ETB, and then whenever I looked at the Shining Fates ETB and I couldn't really sell it for anything, I just opened it. And so the collector came, or I guess the collector would be somebody who would be opening it. That guy took over in me, and I ended up opening it, and so what? It's not like that would have been life changing, and even flipping the Hidden Fates ETB wasn't life changing. You know what I mean? I mean, it probably made $50, and on the Shining Fates ETB now, it's only like $100 more, I believe. It's not that much more expensive than what I would have purchased it for back then. Maybe it's up to $250, but who cares? It's like $200. Come on, And that's another reason why I didn't want to get into investing, is because I just don't have the capital for it to do anything, right? If I'm like burning and churning product, like that gives me the opportunity to build up capital. You know what I mean? And so like investing, you would just have to be in a bull market for it to really take hold if you don't have a lot of capital, right? Because just buying one of everything, like, yeah, you can do that and you probably work out, but for me that just doesn't seem very fun. I don't necessarily have the funds to just buy one of everything, because if I was buying, well, let's just say right now, like if I try to buy a Ascended Heroes ETB, and then I tried to buy the Perfect Order booster box and ETB, right? I would spend $120 on the Ascended Heroes ETB. I would spend $200 on the Perfect Order booster box, and I don't know what people are selling the Perfect Order ETB for, but I'm going to assume it's probably going to be somewhere around like 75 or so, So, you've already spent, what is that, $325 on product in a month, and then in 2 more months there's going to be more product released. It's just like it would just be eating up way too much of what I need to do with like the family and things like that. And so starting a business is where I've decided to lean towards, because I can purchase and resell, and hopefully making small margins, can use that sale to fund the next purchase and just rinse and repeat. And let's get into why I'm deciding on the Japanese product. And that's because of the availability of it, and two, people can't get some of the English products, so they might want some of the Japanese product. And it is cheaper, even whenever the market starts to have a downturn. It's still, cheaper than getting some of the English product. Yeah, the booster boxes, I think the booster boxes, they'll be cheaper. They'll still be cheaper than ETB that you could buy in English, and you're getting more packs, and so just the dollar for money seems like it's there. And me, I'm just hoping that the long game helps me. You know, I understand that it's pretty easy to just hit up a Japanese supplier, buy some product, and then resell it. Okay, and the reason that I'm wanting to start my website and I have this YouTube channel is because I want to have people who want to buy from me. Where if they're on eBay, if they're on TCG Player, all they can do is search up the product they want, and they're going to choose the cheapest one, right? That's how I would do it. And so if I sold on those platforms, I'm not really building anything. All I'm doing is competing with the platforms that I'm selling on. And yes, I'm going to have competitive prices, but they won't have to be as competitive because people might want to buy from me. Let me know if that would be something you would be interested in, if you would be interested in buying some products from me whenever I actually get some. Man, I really need to work on the website. That is a big plan that I have, hopefully tonight, is to just actually dive into. I know it's going to take a lot of hours to work on the website, but it's something that I need to get going. So whenever I get the LLC ready and the reseller's license ready, and we're ready to go. Trying not to rush into this, just trying to look at things at all angles and continue to be involved in Pokemon while not necessarily having to make money from it. And I'm hoping that selling off the collection will build up some of those funds so we can deploy that and see how this goes. So building the website is going to be a big part of the brand and the ability to, try to sell the Japanese product that I do purchase and, not trying to compete with everybody on eBay and TCG Player or anything like that. And another thing, like if I bought collections on Facebook Marketplace or something like that in my local area to resell the cards that I had from there, I wouldn't use the website for that anyway. I would be posting all those things on eBay. And that doesn't go towards building the brand that I'm trying to build. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not going towards building the website, building that up, and building up inventory that way. And I feel like if I fought between buying a collection and buying Japanese product, if I just did not pick and choose, I feel like they would just both suffer because I wouldn't be deploying as much funds as I can to get inventory up on my eBay store, and there would just be lack of stock on my website. And I don't want that to happen to either one. And I feel like I just do need to focus on the store aspect and having my own website. And building a brand, like I would be essentially building something. It wouldn't just be every other store trying to sell Pokemon product on eBay, right? Building a brand is something that hopefully I can be proud of in the future. And whenever I do make some sales, hopefully in the future and things like that, I do have the information from the people who bought from me. So like they'll be able to log in and have their emails, and I can have their emails set up so then I can send them product drops or sales and things like that, and I can reach out to my customers. And you can't do that on eBay or TCG Player whenever you try to play, so that is one advantage there. And it would be a good video to talk about the advantages, and I think I will talk about the advantages of having my own store in a later video, and that would be a good one to put out there. So then everybody can kind of understand where my mind is and my thought process, and maybe you've been in this same situation too. So let me know in the comments what you thought Are you a collector? Are you an investor? Or you want to start your own business? Let me know, and I would love to chat with you, have a conversation as well. My Instagram is in the description. You can click on that and DM me, or you can reach out to me on my email, cole@cotrainer.com, and we can have a conversation on there as well. I am looking to build a little bit more of a community around myself, so I don't feel like I'm such a not involved in the hobby. And I've been watching some other YouTube channels, and they have their own like Discords and things like that. I just don't know anything about creating my own Discord server, and maybe that should be something that I look into, and that would be a cool way to start a community on. And we're just figuring this thing out. We're not too far into this, but happy with putting out videos almost every single day, and you know not have made any money really on Pokemon yet. Yes, I've been reselling the collection, but these are funds to start the business. So I really haven't started to deploy any money into the business besides getting workspace and purchasing a Google workspace and purchasing a domain. So yeah, guys, that's all I've got for this video. If you like what you heard, please like the video and subscribe, and knock yourself out watching one of these other videos. Thanks, guys. We'll talk to you later.